Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So guys, we have already completed 11 chapters and the last chapter was contract costing that we have discussed. The next very important chapter that we are going to start is chapter number 12. Chapter number 12, that is process costing. A very important chapter, and we are definitely expecting a question from process costing. In almost every attempt, you are getting a question on process costing, right? So that is why, and the question not for the 5 marks, sir, mostly the question will come for 8 or 10 marks. That is why this chapter holds a very important place in the cost accounting, right? So keep your handbooks with you, KSJ handbooks. They should be ready with you because a lot of things we are going to cover from there, right? So all those who have not yet bought it, you can buy it from our website, that is www.ksjteaching.org, and the soft copy is available from our Android mobile app. So let's start with process costing. First, we'll see what are the topics that we are going to cover in this chapter, right? Let's see. Let's have a quick glance on the topics to be covered. Topics to be covered. So the first topic that we are going to cover is meaning of process costing, or I can say the basics of process costing. Meaning or basics of process costing, right? Then we have preparation of process accounts, preparation of various process and other accounts, process and other accounts. Then we will talk about normal loss, abnormal loss, and abnormal gain, right? So this is another important aspect of this. Then we will discuss about one of the most important topics, that is valuation of work in progress, valuation of WIP or work in progress. And in this we are going to discuss basically two methods. One is the FIFO method, the other one is the weighted average method. So we are going to do this valuation by two methods. One is FIFO and the other one is the weighted average. Then the last topic that we'll discuss about is the inter-process profits. Inter-process profits. So broadly, if we talk about, we are going to discuss all these topics in the process costing, and covering all these topics will complete our chapter of process costing, right? Now talking about the questions, sir, the questions are expected to come from either this part. This is very important from examination point of view, or from this part where we have to prepare the process accounts and we will get the adjustments for normal loss, and abnormal gain, right? Again, very important part. So these are the two aspects from where we are expecting a practical question. Sir, what about this inter-process profit? It is again a practical part, but from examination point of view, I won't say it is very important. It can be asked, it can be rarely asked. So you should just have an idea that what it is all about, right? Inter-process profit. So let's start with the first topic, that is the basics of process costing. Basics of process costing. In this lecture, this is what we are going to focus on, right? Because understanding the meaning of the chapter is very important. If we say process costing, sir, what it means, right? If you are able to understand the basic meaning of that, the basic crux of that chapter, half the job is done there, right? Then the further things will become very important. We always say that if we want to construct a house, the base of that house should be strong, isn't it? That's the same case with our studies also. If we want to study any chapter, the base of that chapter should be very strong. That is what we are going to build here now. Process costing. Let's see. Just we'll try to understand with the help of a very simple and relatable example for you people. For example, say you are a CA student, you want to do a CA. You want to become a chartered accountant, right? Now, if you want to become a chartered accountant, sir, what is the whole procedure for that? What is the whole procedure? Say after your class +2, you want to do CA. What is the whole procedure? Sir, the procedure is, first you will appear for the exam that is known as foundation. Right? First you will appear for your foundation exams. I'm not asking for the direct entry students. Right? Those who are from the direct entry, they will first complete their graduation. After that, they will go for that, right? So I'm talking about the route they are following, the foundation route. Okay. So first you will appear for the foundation exam. Then from foundation exam, you will move on to the next level where you will prepare for your inter exam. Right. After inter exam, what you will do? You will do your training articleship. You will have the training period. Right. After this, what you will do is you will appear for your finals. Right. You will appear for your final examination. You will appear for your final examination. Right. So this is the whole procedure that you have to follow if you want to become a chartered accountant. First appear for foundation, then move to the next level, that is intermediate, then move to the next level, that is training, then appear for the final examination, and after that, after clearing the final examination, you will become a successful chartered accountant, right? So what it is, you have to pass through the different levels, right, to be a CA. Or I can say you have to pass through the different processes, right, if you want to become a CA. Now, at this point, when you are thinking about starting the CA course, right, before the foundation, here you are a raw material. Do you agree with it? After the clearance of your final exam, when you become a chartered accountant, you will become a finished good. Isn't it? So what I can say that, sir, if you want to convert a raw material into a finished good, this raw material, you are a raw material at this level. After clearing your +2 exams, you are a raw material. Now, if you want to become a CA, if you want to convert yourself into a finished good, you have to go through different processes, right? So this and this training, this final, this is what? These are the various processes through which I will have to go through to convert my raw material into finished product, right? Any doubts up till this point? Now, one thing is clear from here, sir, you are converting a raw material to finished goods, right? That means if we talk about this process costing, this process, that's a raw material is being converted from one level to second to third to fourth and then into finished good. That means this process costing is applicable in manufacturing units. It is mainly applicable in manufacturing units. Any doubts in this thing, right? Read the very first line. Read the very first line in the handbooks. So the first line says that process costing usually applies to the manufacturing sector. Just read it till here. Don't read the next line, right? I'll tell you the next line. Just read it till here, that process costing usually applies to the manufacturing unit, because in the manufacturing process only you will be converting the raw material into finished good. In the trading sector, what you will do? Sir, you will simply buy the finished goods, sell the finished goods. That's it. Simple. Right? Now, up till this point, is it clear? Now, the next point. Next point is, sir, one of your cousins comes to you and he says that, brother or sister, I want to do the CA course. Now, the first thing that you will say is, please don't do it. Right? Please don't do it. Now he says, no, I want to do a CA course. I want to be a chartered accountant. You say, okay, it's your wish now, and later on don't tell me that I warned you. Okay, jokes apart. Now, the first thing he asks you that what is the process, you will say that this is the process. You will have to go through the various processes. The first is foundation, then inter, then training, then final, then you will become a chartered accountant. Now next thing he will say is that what is the total expenditure that is required in doing the CA? What is the total cost, including the enrollment cost, books cost, coaching cost? Please tell me what is the total cost that is required. I'll remove this. Now he is asking you that please tell me what is the total cost that will be required in doing CA. What you will do in that case? How can you calculate the total cost of doing the CA? I ask you, you want to do the total cost. You want to calculate total cost of doing CA. Total cost of doing CA. Right? So, what you will do? How you can identify the total cost of doing a chartered accountancy course? First, you will identify that what is the cost incurred at foundation level. Right? Expenditure incurred here. Obviously, sir, free of cost, you can't do CA. Some expenditure, some investment you will have to do. That's why I always say that always do a small investment. Only then you will gain tomorrow in the future, right? If you say that everything we get free of cost, right? We are able to do the course free of cost, absolutely free of cost, without paying anything to the institute or without paying anything for coaching or anything, right? Then how will you gain the customers tomorrow? Are you going to provide all your services free of cost tomorrow, right? If you are not going to make any investment tomorrow, your customers will also expect that, sir, you completed your CA free of cost, now provide your services free of cost, isn't it? So will you provide it? Then how you are going to eat the food? How you are going to run your family, right? Just think rationally. That's one viewpoint. Now, what is the various expenditure you must have incurred at the foundation level? Sir, there was ICAI enrollment fee, right? Then there was coaching fee. Obviously, sir, I'm taking the coaching fee, etc., etc., etc. Right? Similarly, another set of expenditure was done at the inter level. What was the expenditure done at the inter level? Again, sir, ICAI asked for the enrollment fee, right? Admission fee. Then it was the coaching fee. Then it was the examination fee. Isn't it? So all these expenditures you have incurred at the inter level also. Now at the training, sir, training, we are getting the stipend. We are not going any expenditure. Just tell me seriously, how many of you are getting a good amount of stipend? For the amount of work you are doing, how many of you are getting a good stipend? Sir, we are not going to disclose it on YouTube, isn't it? Okay, jokes apart, right? Say at training, again you have some expenditure. Just imagine you have some enrollment fee. Again, at the final level, sir, at the final level, again we will have some expenditure like the admission fee, or what we call it as enrollment fee. Then we will have the coaching fees, or huge fee, huge coaching fee, right? Then we have the examination fee and etc., etc., books and all those things, right? So that means at every process you are incurring some expenditure. Every process involves some expenditure, right? What I'm saying is, I'm saying that every process involves some expenditure, right? So if someone asks you what is the total cost of doing a CA, first you will calculate the expenditure at process number 1, that is foundation, then expenditure at process number 2, that is intermediate, then expenditure at process number 3, that is training, articleship, right? Here your fuel expenses will be there, right? And then the expenditure at final level, process number 4. That means every process through which the raw material has to pass to be converted into the finished good, it involves an expenditure, right? Now, sir, if we are doing some expenditure at every level, agreed, we are doing some expenditure at every level. By doing that expenditure, are we gaining something out of every process, or the gain is only the from raw material to being a CA directly? are we gaining something at every level, at every process? If we are doing the expenditure, in that case we will gain something also. If expenditure means going something out of my pocket, like right, so that means from that expenditure I must gain also. I must gain something, isn't it? If I am doing some expenditure, I must gain from that also. What is the gain in this case? What is the gain in this case, sir? Can you tell me what is going to be your gain if you move from foundation to inter, from one process to another process, from inter to training, from training to final, right? So you must gain something from one process which you carry forward to the next process, and the gain in this case is knowledge. Right? The gain from here is going to be your knowledge that you will gain from one process. Take a very simple example. Sir, we are studying cost and management accounting at the CA intermediate level, right? At the final level, again we have the costing, which is called as SCMP, Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. So whatever knowledge you will gain at the inter level by studying this paper number 3, cost and management accounting, that knowledge you will carry forward to the final level and use it when you will study SCMP, that is Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. The base is CA intermediate cost accounting, right? So that means whenever you are doing an expenditure at one process, you will gain something from that process which will be carried forward to the next process, right? The knowledge that you will gain at the foundation level, you will carry forward to the inter. For example, the law, some of the sections of the law you will do at the foundation level, and that knowledge you will carry forward to the inter level. Similarly, the knowledge that you will gain at the inter level, you will carry forward it to the final level. It is very, very important. No, sir, we are going to forget everything that we are going to study. Then that is your loss, right? I'll come to that point also. Don't worry about it. For now, what we are saying is that whatever you gain at one process, you transfer it to the next process. Now, again, read that first line from the book. Process costing usually applies to the manufacturing organizations where the output of one process becomes the input of another process, right? The knowledge that you gain here, the cost accounting knowledge that you are going to gain at the inter level, that is the output of inter level. For the final level, it becomes the input. It becomes the base on which you are going to build. Clear? So the output of one process becomes the input of the second process. Read the next line. The process costing usually applies to chemical companies, spinning, weaving mills, packaged food manufacturing organizations, oil manufacturing organizations, furniture manufacturing organizations, etc. Under process costing, separate process accounts are prepared. Okay, we'll discuss it later on. So this much is clear. Now, as a chartered accountant, if you have to present this thing, how will you present it? Right? I come to you, I say, as a chartered accountant, you have to present these expenditure also and the knowledge also. Sir, for that, what you are going to do is you are going to prepare some accounts, right? What are the various accounts that you are going to prepare? The first account that you are going to prepare is foundation account. Right? The first account that you are going to prepare is foundation account. In the foundation account, what you will say? To enrollment fee. You will write down all the expenditures. To enrollment fee, to coaching fee, right? To examination fee. And this way you will write down all the expenditures. And what are you going to gain? You are going to transfer it to the next process. So here you will write to CA Inter. This is the knowledge that you are transferring. Right? This is the knowledge that you are transferring to the next level. Clear? So next, what is the next account? Next account will be CA Inter account. CA Inter account. Right? Here again you will write to enrollment fee. Right? To coaching fee. To examination fee. And from here, what you will transfer is by CA final account. Clear? This is how you will present it in the various accounts. foundation account, CA inter account. Then similarly you can prepare the CA final account. From there you will write by CA account. Now you are a chartered accountant, right? You will write by CA account. So you are carry forwarding the knowledge to the various levels. Right, sir? So as I told you that this process costing is being applicable in the manufacturing units. Is mostly applicable in the manufacturing units. For example, say you are a manufacturer of t-shirts. Right? Let's say you are a manufacturer of t-shirt. You have your raw material here. Your raw material is cloth. Now you want to make a t-shirt out of this cloth, right? That means you will have to go to the various processes. What are going to be the various processes? Sir, the first process will be the cutting of that cloth. The next process can be tailoring. Right? Then it can be some printing of some design on that t-shirt. Then it will be finalized. It will be pressed. Right? Pressing is there. Then packing in a proper way. This way, here you will get your finished product. Right? So here your raw material is cloth. It is being converted into a finished product. And it has to go through the various process. Now, the output of this cutting process will become the input of this tailoring process. Right? The output here will become the input of this tailoring process. That means if you are not going to cut the cloth, then how are you going to tailor the cloth? Right? If you are not going to do the tailoring, the output of this tailoring will become the input of this printing. The output of this printing will become the input of this pressing. The output of this pressing will become the input of this packing. And this output of packing will convert it into my finished goods. Clear? Now, what is the purpose, sir? Why are we doing all this? What is the purpose behind doing all this? Why are we noting down all the processes? Sir, remember here, what I told you, that I want to calculate the total cost of doing the CA. That what will be my total expenditure. Now, similar cases here, if I want to find out the selling price, of this finished good. How I can identify the selling price? What is the selling price, sir? Selling price is total cost. Total cost plus profit. Total cost plus profit is equal to selling price. Any doubts in this thing? Total cost plus profit is equal to selling price. Now, how can you identify the total cost? I can write this total cost as sum total of cost of individual process. Sum total of each process cost. Right? Obviously, sir, at every process, at cutting, at tailoring, at printing, at pressing, at packing, you will be incurring some expenditure. Right? Nobody is going to work free of cost for you. You will definitely be incurring some expenditure. So that sum total of that expenditure, that means the sum total of each process cost. Here cost 1 plus cost 2 plus cost 3 plus cost 4 plus cost 5. Right? So I say the total cost at the cutting department is C1, the total cost at tailoring department, tailoring process is C2, then C3, C4 and C5. Right? So here we can say C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 plus C5. This is the total cost of each process plus the profit will give you selling price. So this is the purpose of doing process costing, that we are able to identify the cost at each process, right? If you will say, sir, what is the need of identifying at each process? We can roughly say, what is the total cost? Right? Sir, we can roughly say, sir, then how can we say that whether we are efficiently incurring all the cost and we are able to efficiently control the cost at each process? It is quite a possibility that we are incurring more than required expenditure at a particular process. At tailoring process, we do not require that much of expenditure, but we are incurring if we will calculate the cost of each process, then what we are going to find out is, we are going to find out whether our processes are being efficiently managed or not, right? Whether our processes, whether there is any extra expenditure that we are incurring at a particular process, that we can cut down, that we can control our expenditure at that particular process. If there is any leakage of expenditure, we can find out at what process there is a leakage of some expenditure, right? That is very, very important. That is why what we do is, we divide the total manufacturing process into different processes. We find out the cost at the different processes, and then it is summed up, plus the profit will give you the selling price of the finished product, right? So this is the purpose of studying process costing. I hope it is clear, and this is the best example I could have explained to you, right? Your own example, that you are a CA student or a CMA student. Even if you are a CMA student, you have to go through this foundation, inter, final, and the training also. You are a CA student, then also you have to go through this CS, right? So almost in every professional course, there are 2-3 levels through which you have to go, right? Professional level, executive level in the CS. Clear? So at every level is called a process, and at every process there will be an expenditure, and there will be a gain in terms of the knowledge, right? So this is how we are going to study the process costing, that at every level, at every process, there will be some expenditure and there will be some gain, some output which will be transferred to the next process, and it will become the input of the next process. The knowledge of costing that you gain at inter, that is the output for inter, but for the final, it becomes the input which you are going to use in studying SCMP. Right, sir? So I hope this is clear. This is the very basic of process costing, that why we are studying this process costing. This is very important for you people to understand, that if we are studying any chapter, why we are studying that chapter. So we are done with the topic number 1, that is meaning or basics of process costing. Great, sir. We are done with topic number 1. Now in the next lecture, what we are going to study is topic number 2, that is preparation of various process and other accounts. So I'm going to discuss the proper formats in which you are going to prepare the process accounts, right? The process accounts, now you understand that we need to prepare the process account. Like I have prepared this foundation. This is one process account. We call it as process 1 account, right? This is CA Inter. We can call it as process 2 account. Right, so this is how we have to prepare the process accounts. There is a proper format that you have to follow in preparing the process accounts, and we will do one practical question also, right? The practical questions are available on our Android mobile app, so you can get the file from there. And if you are buying our study material, if you are subscribing to our study material, buying a study material from our website, then do write an email to us that at ksjteaching@gmail.com, that sir, with the receipt that sir, we have paid for the study mat, please provide us the YouTube questions. We'll send you the PDF file. Don't worry about it, right? And if you want only and only PDF file, you can get it from the mobile app. As simple as that. Clear? Now very important thing that you people have to do, you have to subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon for all the notifications, and share it with the maximum people for the channel's growth, right? So see you guys in the next lecture with the next topic. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep sharing, keep studying. Thank you so much.